What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am Marcus,
And I am Shelby.
and we are
Crugers
Crugers
with
with. I don't know. I'm just trying to mix it up. You know what I'm saying? But what's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Marcus,
I'm Shelby.
and we're
Crugers with the C.
I'll be trying to throw you off because you're so used to doing it the same way. So I'll be trying to keep you on your toes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So what's up?
Nothing much. What's up with you?
Oh, nothing. Just just taking it easy. Coming back to doing what we do. Episode number 31. Can you believe we're on episode 31?
Yeah, I can believe it.
Why you say it like that?
Because we do it every week.
Yes. And I remember when we first started, I was like, I can't wait till we get 5. I can't wait till we get number 10. Now we almost at 50.
I know.
I don't know how to count that up in weeks, but it's been a while, and I want to say thank you to everyone who participates, everyone who listens, and be right there on Sundays when we drop these episodes. Thank you for everybody who's going to YouTube and checking out the videos, leaving their comments and thoughts, the text messages, and all of that good stuff. And we want to ask you to leave us some reviews on Apple Podcasts. We really need that. And we need some 5-star ratings. Go ahead and boost us up so we could get up there. How you feel about that?
I think that's great. Y'all do it.
All right, so we're going to get in today's topic. We ain't going to keep y'all waiting because our last podcast, we never even covered the subject that we were supposed to be covering, and we just ended up, getting some stuff off our chest. So today, we're going to get straight into it, and we're going to be talking about pushing through dark times, pushing through tough times. What you got for me?
I think you said it all.
What else? What else can we push through?
I think you said it all, honey.
Okay.
Pushing through the dark, tough times.
Now, I'm going to let you elaborate. Would you mind doing that? Go ahead and elaborating on some stuff. Like, what's the challenges of pushing through tough times and hard times?
Just getting the will to do it. Because majority of the time you want to stay in that spot. You want to stay there because you just don't feel like it. You don't have the energy. You don't have the willpower. You just feel down.
Do you think we don't have the willpower, or it's just that we're not... Dog. My bad. Excuse me. Do you think we don't have the willpower, or it's just like we're in that place and we want to stay there?
I think it can be both. Probably being in that place and wanting to stay there probably overrule. But sometimes you just be a little drained or tired and you don't want to get up and just go right now. It can just be a moment. That's why I say the willpower. It can only be a moment. It's not something that, that lasts for a long time. You just feel a little tired and probably a little defeated or a little weak or something like that.
Now, I can speak from experience and say that whenever I'm in a dark place, a lot of times I do stay there. And I don't think that is purposeful. I don't think I purposely have a pity party. But a lot of times it turns into having a pity party.
Yeah, it will do that. But I think sometimes we just need time to ourselves.
Right.
Just to process and think. And I think that's another reason why we don't want to get up and go, We just want to have time to think about it and time to process what's going on.
Now, I think for me, that's the worst time for me to be alone. Like when I'm going through something, it's the worst time for me to be alone because now I'm left with my thoughts. I have to face my thoughts. Or, I don't even... Because when you're in that place, you don't want to hear nobody telling you, look, it's going to be okay. I mean, at least for me, it's that way. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. It can be that way, but sometimes I feel like if I'm in that dark place, I just need to be alone just to process. And I need to not have any distractions. And I think I have a way of dealing with things. I need to be alone to process, to figure out how I'm going to move forward. So I think that's why I need alone time. And when I'm ready for, company or comfort, I guess I'll reach out for it. I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah. I was going to say, I was trying to figure out a nice way to say it, but I was like, you're not going to reach out. No, not you. But,
Unless somebody asks me. If somebody asks me, okay, yes. But no, I'm not going to put it out there on my own.
But all right, let's be honest. Like the type of person you are, even if I ask, I'm not saying that you necessarily was talking about me just then. I believe that you was talking about if somebody asks, right? So even if me, from knowing it from experience, if I ask you, are you okay? What are you going to reply?
I'm fine.
I'm fine. In actuality, are you fine though?
No, I be trying to deal with it to see if I can deal with it on my own.
So let's ask this: as husband and wife, or people in relationships, do you think that it's right or acceptable to deal with things on your own?
No, it's not. It's a reason why you have a spouse or a significant other. It's a reason for that. It's just that it depends on the person. You have to understand that. Like me, I have to understand that you are here and I have to express my feelings, which is hard. So I think it's just all about understanding and knowing where your spouse or significant other stands and what they're mainly there for.
Now, a little part of that I disagree with, because I do understand that we're all individuals. Yeah, we're married, right? But we're all individuals, and the way I process may not necessarily be the way you process. So I do think that it's acceptable to have that little bit of time for yourself to see how you're going to process it. But I don't think that it's right to hold that from your spouse over a day or a couple of days. I still believe that they need insight.
Well, that's what I meant. You should express with your spouse, not hold it in all the time. The whole time you're going through this problem. Yes, you need time to think about it yourself, but you have to bring your spouse in, because your spouse or your significant other don't know what's going on if you don't tell them.
Right.
So, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because I just had that thought, like, sometimes people may not necessarily want to open up and say, listen, I'm dealing with this. I really don't know how to handle it. So let me try to process this and get back with you. I believe that's key. I believe that's a key thing to working out a problem when you're in the dark space, because your spouse may not necessarily know what's going on. But I guarantee you this, they will feel what's going on.
Yeah.
Because it's been times in our relationship to where something was wrong with me, and I would tell you nothing, but you would know something is wrong. But okay, let's be transparent. In our relationship, you're not going to keep asking.
What you mean?
Like, say for instance, if there's something wrong with you, I'm going to keep bothering you. Well, I guess you could call it bothering. I'm going to keep at you until you open up to me. You'll just say, what's wrong? And then if I won't tell you, you'll just cut off, and then you'll get mad at me.
Yeah, I would, but I think in the process, I keep asking you what's wrong with you.
No, you'll be like this. So this what you gonna do?
Well, that's my way. That's my way of asking you.
So you're not gonna tell me what's wrong?
Yeah, because I know
like yourself.
Because I know something is wrong. So yeah.
You gonna keep acting like this?
So it don't matter. That means our way of trying to figure out what's wrong with each other is different. So we know that. That's clear.
So you really think you acting like yourself?
Because I do that to you. Because when you ask me what's wrong with me, I supposed to tell you. But then you want to act a different way when it is your turn. Nothing wrong with me. If I say I'm fine and I keep saying I'm fine every time you ask me, is this what we supposed to do as husband and wife? You gonna do this? Oh, this is how do you think this is right? If God asks you. So yeah, it's not right. It's not fair. It's not right.
I hit you with the if God asked you.
Yes, you do. That'll be your last resort. So then I suck my teeth and roll my eyes and tell you what is wrong. But yet again, if it's me asking you, you don't tell me. You go ahead and let me get an attitude with you because I know something is wrong with you. And that's why I do that. You think you acting like yourself. What all you said? All whatever you said is true. But that's why.
So this is what we gonna do? This is how we handle it? No, but in actuality, and I feel like, and this could be a chauvinistic way of thinking, but I don't feel like I'm supposed to put my burdens on you.
I feel the same way. So,
but no, it's different. It's different. I'm supposed to bear your burdens because I am your husband, right? I have bigger shoulders than you. That's why God made me the man.
So that don't mean nothing. Y'all men need to talk too. Y'all keep stacking stuff on y'all big shoulders. Y'all gonna eventually fall.
But we process different than women.
So?
What you mean so?
I don't care. You still supposed to talk. You still
you're right.
supposed to confide in us. It don't make you no less than a man. You got to.
I think it's the way we process is like for me, I can only speak for me. The way I process is thinking all options through. I'm running through my head how I'm going to say something to you. I'm running through my head the best way to say it so that you won't feel offended or that you won't feel like I'm talking about you. Because as soon as I tell you, you're going to think I'm talking about you. Mm-hmm. And the women in the room got quiet.
I said,
I'm just saying, and the other women got quiet.
Whatever.
And as soon as I say something, you're gonna think I'm talking about you, or you thinking it's something that you're done, or you thinking that it's something I'm referring to you, because that's how women process for the most part, right? Am I wrong?
Yes, I say you're wrong.
How?
Cause I mean, when. Everything, problem? No.
Not
so
everything, every problem. I'm just saying when I am quiet, when I have those times that I'm dealing with something.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, you're right. I be thinking something wrong.
Right.
Because you're not telling me. If you tell me, then I won't think. Right. And my mind won't go.
But I'm trying to figure out the most general what he said.
Well, you should say that. I'm processing something and I'm trying to figure out a way to say it.
Like that's gonna work.
We do
like that's gonna work.
Okay, well then you need to stop acting like we got a crystal ball and can read your mind. You got to say something.
I would tell you.
It take you a long time. I'm gonna tell you that. It take you a long time to process and to say what you got to say.
Why you gotta mock me though?
Because
are you really mocking me?
I did. It just take you a long time.
All right, because even if, right, let's say I come to you and I just straight say something. I come to you and I let loose and I tell you what's on my mind. So it would some type of way that conversation is going to revert back to you thinking it's something you've done.
Okay, that's fine, but I'm telling you, my point is right now, it takes you a long time to process what you're going to say to me because you want to say it in the proper way.
Let me break that down because I want to hear what you're saying. It takes me a long time to say what I have to say.
Yes.
Yes, it does. Because there's so many combinations to the outcome of my whatever I have to say. See what I'm saying? Like right now, it's so many outcomes to what I would say to how you will respond to it. So, that's a whole nother conversation in itself. But for the most part, I'm processing what I have to say. And when I say it, I'm thinking about the correct way to say it. I'm trying to think of the way to say it in a loving, gentle manner. Because a lot of times when y'all say stuff, it's being released from a buildup. So and that's okay because I know how you process. If I didn't know how you process, then immediately I would take offense to it. So I think it's understanding how we process in order to be able to finally release what we have to say. That makes sense?
Yes.
All right, so we was talking about processing and letting things out. A lot of times when you're in a relationship, your spouse can automatically know when something is wrong. So I think that you have to allow that little bit of time for the spouse to process and then be able to come and talk to you to be able to say what's bothering them because you can't keep it from them forever.
Right.
So we talking about that. We said, I asked, what did I ask? Because I almost forgot what we were talking about.
We was talking about.
Oh, I know what it was. Do you think it's right to keep it away from your spouse? All right. So when you're in those dark times, your spouse know that you're going through something. Like pity parties are never good, but if you don't have someone to be able to talk something into you, you'll stay there.
Yeah, you will.
So has there been any time that you've been in a dark place and, whatever was whatever and you wanted to stay there, but I wouldn't let you?
Yes. It has been times like that. And you would make me get up, get out the house, go get some sunlight and, get me out the house, or you'll do silly things like try to dance with me. Ain't no music going, you humming stuff. And yes, you have done that.
How did that make you feel, like during that process of you being in the dark place and I saying, look, blah blah blah, let's do this? Or if I'm throwing out, suggestions, how would you want to receive them?
I received them, but it was hard because I just didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to be by myself and stay where I was and just be comfortable. But you was taking me out of that comfort zone, trying to make me get better, help me get better. So, I received it. I understood what you was doing. I understand it, but I just didn't want to do it.
Why do you think it is that, like, when we're in that place, we don't want to? Why do you think it is that we want to just shut all the way down? Because if you really look at it, we're probably in a dark house or a dark room, and everything is dark. Why do you think we would like to stay in a place like that?
I think it's just the way we feel at the moment. It's probably a specific day.
It's on the East Coast, huh? I mean the West Coast.
Specific day, or it can just be something, and it's just a mood. It's just a mood that it brings.
Now, what's the longest time you ever been in a slump like that?
I don't know. I think, to be honest, if we being transparent, I think this is the longest. What's currently going on now. And that's been a weekend.
3 days?
Yeah, so I think this has been the longest.
It's been very times that I could feel depressed or like I'm in a space to where I don't want to move forward or I'm just stuck in that rut. And most of the time it's because it's overcast.
Yeah.
Like overcast outside will put me in that space and I hate being there. I get depressed.
Well, besides nature, overcast, has anything else made you feel that way, wanting to be in that dark space? Because that's nature. But has anything else, like emotion?
Yes, to be honest, I'm going to say this one, and this is not easy to say, and this is not easy to share. Social media had me in a spot of feeling unworthy at one point.
Really?
Yeah, because you look at social media, and this was before I realized that social media is just that. It's like, it's a mirage. It's not real. And it was like, what am I doing so wrong to where I can't attain a certain goal that I'm trying to reach?
So how did you get out that dark space?
I took myself away from it.
Okay.
I took all social media off my phone. I just got rid of it, and then I just started looking at myself. One thing I had to do was stop telling myself that, I can't do certain things. You know, I had to look at myself and build myself up because it tore me down so much. Like, you could look at stuff and you be like, and it's not all about material things, but it's also about like, what am I doing so wrong to where I can't do certain things? That makes sense. You like one thing was people advancing in jobs. You know, you look at I was looking at the state I was in. I'm trying to advance as well. I'm not advancing, so I had to take myself away. That's why you don't really see me post a lot of stuff like that on social media, because you know, if I didn't know better to take that away, then who knows what could have happened.
Yeah.
But it's certain people out there who don't know how to disconnect and don't know how to say this is not real. It's just social media. You know, but I had to remove it away from my life. And I stayed going for a good little while, and once I realized, oh, this is just fake.
Yeah.
You know, it was like we live in this world of filters. And that's what I noticed too. Like, we live in this world of filters where everything looks glamorous and all of that, but you don't see when you don't see the real stuff. I would never want to just praise anybody going through anything, but you don't see that. All you see is the highlights. It's like a highlight reel for somebody's life. So, yeah, social media, y'all, you have to disconnect from that stuff sometimes. You have to detox through it.
Yeah. And mainly understand that, like you said, it's just highlights. You really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Hopefully nothing bad.
Right.
But those people are real. They have real life issues just like me and you.
Right.
So we have to remember that.
Yeah, you have to, and you have to be able to know that. But sometimes it get the best of people and they don't know that. You know, if you don't ever know how to turn that off and disconnect from it, you'll stay in that place. But to bring it back to the topic where we were, like, when you are, like, what are some things, what other ways could you get in that state of depression or being there, and what are some of the effects you think it have on your environment?
Like the people around you?
Yeah.
If they're aware of what's going on, it can make them concerned. It probably can rub off on them too.
Because you don't have a poker face. You don't have a poker face, and everybody in the house could tell when something is wrong with you. But when we're in our house and something wrong with me, only person who knows is you.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I can say that's true. I can honestly say, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because I know that, like, I have to allow you to see, like, I have to allow you to see when I'm down. Not necessarily for me. I don't want the kids to ever see that. You know, not that I'm not human or nothing, like, but I don't know. It's just I don't want them to see that.
You don't want the kids to see that you're down?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. Why it's like that. I guess it's just something in me, but I remember it's like been 2 times when I was really, really down. I know one when we was in the apartment that you really, really saw me down.
Yeah, I remember.
How did that affect you when you... I'm going to say it. I'm going to let y'all in, okay? I cried, okay? How many times you seen me cry?
It's not funny.
Like once?
Once.
Okay, listen, guys. I cried, all right?
Dorkosaurus. It's not funny.
It ain't
You
fun.
shouldn't make a joke of a man crying.
No, I cry. It's okay. It's okay. I don't cry
I mean, you
year.
can laugh about it now.
I can laugh about it now, but at the time it wasn't funny.
And I honestly thought you were joking when you just came in from work, and I thought you was joking. I'm like, what is wrong with you? And then when I seen that you wasn't, I was like, oh my God, you're such a jokester. So
I joke a lot, but that particular point in life, I just felt like no matter how hard I tried, we couldn't get through sometimes. You know, no matter what I did, I was even working overtime, and I was doing a lot of stuff trying to bring us ahead, but it would not happen. Yeah. And I felt worthless.
Yeah.
But the whole time you wasn't feeling like that.
No, you just caught me off guard. I mean, We was newly married. I was pregnant. It just was a lot of factors, and I can understand now why you was upset, but I didn't feel that way at the time.
You didn't, but
I
I did.
didn't because I mean, we had a roof over our head, we had food, we had clothes, our
Man,
cars
what's
was
a
working.
roof over your head? What's that? No, I'm just playing.
I was gonna say, hold up now.
No, but I didn't see that.
Yeah. I don't know. It was totally opposite. That's why I was caught off guard when you came home and started crying because I thought we had our struggles, but I thought we were straight at the same time. So
I did because it was like we were adding up our money, and it was already gone. And it was like we wasn't going to buy nothing extravagant. We wasn't doing all of this.
yeah, honey, but I just think that we were new at everything. You have to think about it. We was new. This was our first time living with somebody, first time married. What else? We was having our first child together. It was a lot of firsts
Yeah.
to, take into consideration.
So we could say that to the people that's going to be newly married or people who's married and never hit that hard spot. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, it is. Because look at us now.
Yeah. I want to say this too. Just stemming from that what we said, let's branch off and talk about the perspective. Because you saw one thing, but I saw something totally different.
Yeah, and I don't know how. We was on like the total opposite ends.
Polar opposites.
Yeah.
And I didn't see what you saw. I just saw that everything was going downhill and it's just bad. We cannot get ahead. I was focused on getting in front of everything. What did you see?
Like I said earlier, I just saw us struggling a little bit, but I didn't see it as, yes, we were struggling, but I didn't see it as we were going to lose anything. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we wasn't going to get evicted or our cars wasn't going to be repossessed. We weren't at that stage. We was just a little behind, and that's it. And I was like, we okay. We're not at the point where people gonna come in to take stuff and turn stuff off from us, and we can't feed, our kids, and we was good. That's how I saw it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I guess I just thought that we were never supposed to be behind. We were never supposed to be like struggling. I didn't think that.
I didn't think that way because I just knew that we had to get used to everything. We had to get a routine. And everything just happened so fast. You got to think about it. We moved in together. We got married. We didn't stay together when we first got married because I didn't have a job. Then I got a job, and so everything started moving fast. I moved. I got pregnant.
Right.
I mean, we had to get used to each other.
Yes.
It just was a lot, honey.
I know. I came home, man. I was crying.
Y'all know how when your mama beat you and then you had that stutter or that pause. Yeah. That's what it was like. He had that pause and them shoulders. It's funny now.
And you going a little overboard. You going too far with the comedy. All right, so have there been a time when you weren't in a relationship, when you were alone, that you were in a stage of depression?
Yeah.
You mind sharing that?
I'm gonna say when I first became a mom, and I realized that, okay, I'm gonna be doing this on my own. Yeah, it was a little hard. It was a little hard, and I didn't know. I didn't know what to do.
So what were your emotions? What were your feelings like? Your thoughts?
I was scared. I was upset. I felt guilty. I felt ashamed. And didn't really talk to anybody about it because eventually all in all it was my fault. Nobody else was there with me making this baby but me and the other person. So I just felt like it was my fault and I couldn't really express everything because it was like, this is what you get for being grown. That's how I thought. So, yeah.
And how did you come out?
I came out on top.
No, I'm saying like emotionally. How did you come out of that stage?
Because I couldn't, looking at a baby, I couldn't stay there because I had to take care of us. Even though I had my family, but it wasn't their responsibility.
Right.
So something just clicked and I had to go do what I have to do. I went back to my first job that I ever had and worked there and worked up. And then I went and got a state job and that's where I've been ever since. So I had a drive and I went back to school too.
Right.
So I had a lot of goals and I had to, prove a point. I don't know if it was to people or if it was to myself. So I think that helped me get out of it. Looking at, Paige and like, I got to do it. I can't sit here and be depressed and dwell because that ain't gonna put food in our mouths.
Right. I can't really pinpoint a particular time that I have been depressed, but it's been times that I would hit these stages of just gloominess and darkness, and I don't want to talk. I want to disconnect from everybody, and I just feel. But when you're in those stages, these are the thoughts that come. I ain't never gonna be able to do it. I feel worthless. I have those thoughts, and I can't say that. Excuse me. I can't say that I ever been to the point of contemplating suicide, but eventually that's where those thoughts take you. And I don't know if many people would ever admit this, that they've been in those spaces, but I dealt with those thoughts like I'm worthless. I'm never gonna make it, or the world will be better off without me. Those thoughts are meant, they're gonna try to kill you. Those are exactly what their thoughts are. And that's why I know that whenever I'm in that dark place, I have to get outside.
Right.
I have to go where the sun is. I have to get around people. Because if you're never around, if you stay in that place, you might end up believing those thoughts. And those thoughts may turn into action. So people, when you're there, you can't stay there. You have to be able to escape your own self. You have to get out of your own way, and you have to be able to tell somebody. A lot of times, and I don't know why I'm going here, but maybe somebody need to hear it. But a lot of times when people are thinking about killing themselves or suicide, they tell you. They will say something.
Like what? I know at one point you told me they'll start giving their stuff away too.
They'll start giving their stuff away. They'll start giving away belongings. They'll make comments like, I don't think I want to be here, or I can't do this no more. Whatever the case may be, you have to pay attention to that stuff. And I'm gonna branch off from this, and I'm gonna go into a story. We worked with this guy, and he was just new to the job. He had been through training, and he was ready to go. He passed all his tests, and he had nothing else holding on him but a year of probation. And he came to shift. And, I never had a chance to really, really interact with him. Most of the time when people meet somebody and they're different, they're like, oh, he weird or whatever. But you never know what somebody going through. And I'm the type of person, I'm going to give you a chance first. I'm not going to believe what everybody else said. I'm going to go about what I feel. And so I never really got the chance to work with him. But we came back to work and found out that the guy committed suicide. And I was like, I was blown away about it because I didn't know. I didn't get a chance to talk to him. But then one guy said, man, he had just gave me these uniforms. I said, what? He was like, yeah, he gave me some brand new clothes. I like, that was a sign, I was like, were y'all close? He was like, we talked a lot. He said, So that could have been, but where we work at, people do that all the time.
Yeah.
But like not new stuff, unless it's like they're too big or they're too small. But I don't think they were close to the same size. So he showed a little bit of sign, but it was too late by then.
Yeah.
But a lot of times when people have those thoughts, they show signs. They want to say something, and the worst thing that you could do is ignore that. You ask them straight up, "Hey, you think about killing yourself?" Ask them.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean to go so dark, but somebody needed to know that. Somebody needed to hear that. But these times will bring you there.
Yeah.
If you believe those thoughts and you start believing those actions, you may act on it. And just look at it like it's most of the time it's the happiest people or the people who seem like life is just a gravy train that you'll never know. So you have to pay attention to the signs. But during that, you have to start talking positive to yourself.
Yes.
You have to get up. You have to get outside. You have to experience some things because, like you said, when you go through stuff, I make you get out of the house. It's a distraction from those thoughts. It's taking you out of that comfort zone. So during that experience, when you feeling down and I get you out of the house, what's the difference of feeling?
It make you feel good. I can just like what happened recently when you made me get out the house. We went to wash my car and we was at a gas station. So we passed through the gas station and this dude pumping gas, but he not holding the nozzle. He leaning on the back of his trunk like he taking a picture. I'm like, what is he doing? It looked like a 1980s commercial. Like he had the mullet Jerry curl with the real high shoulder suit. He had one leg up on the trunk and he had his hands crossed in front of him. I'm like, what is he doing? I don't know if
he hating on random people.
Cause it was funny. So if I would have never got out the house, I would never saw this guy.
Right.
So it made me think of like a Miami Vice poster or something. He probably, Key and Peele. He probably had on white shoes too. I couldn't tell. But like he was waiting on somebody to pull up and take a picture of him or something.
That man had his
the only
Buick
thing
Century.
he was missing was a fan to blow his hair.
That man was chilling on his Buick Century. You leave him
And
alone.
see, it was a Buick. And it looked like it was a 1990-something Buick. Or 89.
At least, I would at least give it a 97. 97.
I mean, he was leaning on that car like it was a Maserati or you probably wouldn't lean on a Maserati, but like a Corvette or something. He was just, I don't know, he was just too cool. I don't know where he was going.
That might be that man's dream car. We don't know.
I ain't saying nothing about the car. I'm saying his pose. You need to be over there holding your nozzle, pumping your gas. He leaning on the not the hood.
The trunk.
The trunk. It just was, I wish I could have took a picture of
That
that.
man was getting his thills along.
And he was posing. He was looking for a boo. That's what he was looking for.
He probably had one. He was probably posing like that. So she was going to meet him. So that way when she pull up, she could see how cool he was.
Yeah, he was cool.
He was like off guard. Like, I didn't know he was going to be there already.
It was too much. He was ready.
So you saw something that changed your perspective.
Yes. And then y'all want to go outside and mess with the chicken hawk.
Yeah, we have a hawk at our house, and he just walk around like he family.
They mean he not like he family, like he own our yard.
He do.
That's how he walk.
He can have it, long as he keep the snakes away.
Yeah, I guess he can have it.
Yeah, and he'll kill snakes. But being outside, nature is known for curing. Like,
Oh Lord, Dr. Cruger, MD.
did you feel better? Let me ask you that. Did you feel better when
Yes, I did.
All right, so I'll take my credentials. Nature is proven to boost your esteem. Is proven to lower blood pressure. Nature. That's why we have to get outside. So keep telling me about the feelings, from being to yourself in the house and being outside.
I got a little energized because being to myself, I was just sluggish. I just want to sit on the couch and watch movies and just be left alone.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went outside, I got a little boost of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I started cracking on that man leaning on his Buick.
You have to put on clothes too. Like that's one thing. Like when you're in that place,
Yeah, I was like, do I got to take a shower?
you ain't stinking. No, but you have to. Unless you just want to stay there, you have to pick yourself up. You have to put on clothes. You have to get up.
You got to pit on clothes.
I hope you ain't catch that.
You have to put on clothes.
You have to get up and get dressed. You have to. You have to make your bed. Do small stuff that will lead to you eventually come out of that area. Because if you don't, you're going to stay there and you're going to stay in that dark place. It's going to be very dark. It's not going to be any light there.
So you ASMR, mukbang?
You have to pull yourself out of that position. And you have to get up and get outside.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Okay. But yeah, you have to do that. It's detrimental. So we talked about being in relationships, going through stuff. We answered that question. Any other insight that you have about this?
No, I don't know. I just really think that you have to be able to let people in. And you have to listen. Because I wanted to be hard-headed. I didn't want to go. And you kind of backed down. But then I guess something told you, nah, we going to do this.
But when did I back down?
You was like, all right, honey, you don't have to go. But then you like quickly changed your mind and was like, no, you really need to go.
Right.
Because I had thought I won.
So you were fighting me.
Yeah, I was. I mean, that's what you do. So
I didn't know that though.
yeah, I was fighting you in a calm way, but I was being hard-headed. I didn't want to go anywhere. I just wanted to stay in the house. So you have to be willing to listen and not put up such a big fight. I don't think my fight was that big because you ain't know.
No, I didn't know. I felt like I wanted to support you, but at the same time, I didn't want to force you. You know, I was throwing out the suggestions that I knew that helped me, and I didn't want you to stay in that place, you know, because you have a choice. You can either stay there or get out of it. But I wanted to bring you out of it because as a man, I'm a fixer. You know, so I didn't want to be forceful, and I didn't want to just make you do something. I wanted you to deal with it on your own, but at the same time, I knew that I couldn't allow you to stay in that place. But I didn't know that.
Yeah, I almost won, but you just kept on going. So I just think that, you know, when you're in that dark place, you have to be willing to listen. You have to be willing to open up, and you have to be willing to let someone help you, and you have to know that you can't stay in that place. I remember one preacher said, what he said?
I don't know. You said
It's okay to cry. Dang, he said, it's okay to cry a river, but make sure you build a bridge to walk over. Something like that. Dang it. I think I said it wrong, but basically he was like, it's okay to have your emotions, but don't stay there. You're going to have to pick yourself up and get over it, basically. But I think he said it something like that.
And this is what I tell people too. It's okay to cry. Now, if you're a man, you shouldn't be crying every week. So we've been married what? How long we been married?
I don't know.
Shoot, we've been married for a long time.
8 years.
8 years? We've been married 8 years. You see me cry once. And that's not like, I'm not boasting about that. But I think, now do you think crying what do you think is too much crying first? Let me say that.
For
a man.
I don't know. I ain't never seen men cry like that. I was shocked. I thought you was playing when you was crying, so I don't know. I can't answer that. I mean, if you crying like you said every week, we got a problem. We need to talk. Like, what's going on?
And I asked that not to be egotistical. I got that from Nutty Professor. I don't know what it means, but it sounds right, so I'm using it. I'm not saying that to be egotistical. I'm saying that I've heard women say a man could only cry, 3 times at a wedding, when a child is born, and when somebody dies.
No.
That's why I asked you that.
No, I mean, aren't y'all taught from young that y'all need to be a man? Don't be doing all that crying.
But that was crazy talk.
Yeah,
Because-
so I don't think that same standard should be continued.
Yeah,
I
don't
think
either.
y'all should cry when y'all need to. Don't be holding stuff in. But like I said, I don't need you crying every week.
My car dirty.
Yeah,
I
no.
got a flat tire.
Nah, I don't want to hear that. My lace front picking up. No. I don't want to hear that.
Serious issues.
Yeah.
like I said, that was crazy talk about men not being able to cry. If you have to release, you have to release. Crying is necessary because it gets rid of everything you're holding in. You know, it breaks down what's been built up. So it's okay to cry, but I don't think that you should be crying, you know, so frequently about anything.
Yeah.
You know, you shouldn't be that in tune to your emotions that you crying because you had a flat tire and it's a bad day
Oh, Lord.
and you're stressed out. You know, but
Okay.
what are some things that can put us into these dark places?
A lot of things, honey.
Like I'm talking about the umbrella. Like we know that stress.
Yeah. That's a big question. It's so much you can say.
It is, but so something that we can say may help somebody that they never even thought about.
Like you said, stress, death, sickness, financial issues, marital issues, relationship issues. I mean, past things that can happen to you. Oh, since I work at a university, them students,
Grades.
the stressfulness of being a college student.
Deadlines.
Yeah.
So
Your job.
at the end of the day, people, is like you said, be in touch with your emotions. Allow your emotions to run their course. Allow your feelings to run their course. But you cannot stay in that place of darkness.
No.
You have to pull yourself up out of it, because if we could take one, relationships, you know, they get stressful. There are times that they're hard, but it's not worth it to allow that stress to put you in a place. And I want to be careful about how I say this, because I know people who've been in relationships that ended bad and they ended in tragedy. You know, so you have to be able to talk those things out. You have to be able to listen through any of this stuff whenever you're in a dark place, because if you don't, it could be detrimental. So you was talking about school. Like, what are some things you heard?
Just talking to some of the advisors at work, kids be coming in there, they be stressed out. One girl, she was stressed out because her phone was acting up and she couldn't get on social media. And I think that probably stemmed from other stuff. So this little tiny little issue about social media was making her go crazy. Grades, students be stressing about grades a lot.
Do you think that social media, because I know sometimes in our classes, we have to have social media. So do you think it was just the necessity of being on social media, or do you think it was because of a class that she had?
Probably both. They didn't go into details, but it was just examples of what students go through.
Right.
So it could have been both. I don't know, but they come in, they don't have anyone to talk to. So they'll go to their advisors because their advisors are who they saw when they first came to college and helped them with their classes or whatever. So they're familiar with that person.
Right.
Even though we have things in place at the university to help students, they don't know that.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, do they know?
They probably, I'm pretty sure they tell them this in orientation, but that's not the first thing you think about,
Right.
because you don't remember everything when you go through orientation at work or whatever. You don't remember everything. All you remember is that first point of contact that you had face-to-face communication with. So that's who they run to. And then, of course, their advisors will probably remind them and give them that information. But it's just so much that goes through your head. You're not thinking about, oh, I can go down here and get student counseling. You don't think about that stuff.
No, you don't. But I think that stuff should be like plastered all over the place.
We're working on that.
So we're working on that. You've been practicing that, huh?
No, but that's one thing that I've been working on at work.
Yeah, because it's important for people to have resources.
Yep.
And even if people have the resources, like for adults, I think they feel ashamed to use them.
Yeah, I can see that. And so that to solve that problem, we are trying to put everything online. So yes, this stuff is already available to people on that, probably that agency or that department's website, but we're trying to put it on ours.
Right.
So it's like right there.
Okay, because let's be real. Have you ever used any resource at work that's there for you whenever whether it's counseling, whether it's
Yes.
yeah?
But I never went.
So you didn't use it?
I mean, yeah, I did. I made the appointment, but I never went.
Or what's one reason you didn't go?
I thought I didn't need it. I was like, I don't need it. I done worked it out, so I don't need to go.
All right, so when we're in times like that and we work it out, do you think we actually work it out and we've resolved the problem, or do you think that we worked it out for the time being?
Majority of the time, it's probably worked it out for the time being. But I think I thought I worked it out for the time being, but I think eventually I worked it out completely.
Yeah, and I think that's important too. Like whatever is you're facing that got you in that stage of depression, that dark space, that you have to figure out what it is and deal with it fully and wholly. Because if you don't, it's liable to come back. And if it come back, it's going to come back stronger than the first time. Yep. And those thoughts are going to come back stronger than the first time. And depression is never good. But you know what I don't like? Like when you tell somebody, like I think some people don't have a real view of reality. That like when somebody say, man, I'm depressed, they be like, oh, no, you're not. No, you're not. We don't get depressed. You can make it through this. You're not depressed. No, don't say that. That's worse than a person not telling you.
Yeah.
That's worse than a person saying something to you and you just say whatever. You better off saying whatever. Because you can't tell that person not to be in touch with their feelings.
Yeah, you can't tell that person what they're not. How you know?
Right. Just because you push everything to the side, really, you're probably a ticking time bomb.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a way for the person to, they're trying to open up.
Yeah.
To tell you what's wrong with them because for some odd reason they trust you and feel like they can talk to you about what's going on, but then you drop that bomb and say, oh, you're not depressed. How you know?
Yeah. Or they could just be a last resort, or they just saying something.
Or that's that sign.
Yeah. Because people sometimes will say stuff like that. And the thing is, too, you have to listen to people. Like, just because you might not process it the way they're processing it, that's how they're processing. And if they're talking to you, listen without judgment. You know, you have to be able to, we need people to bring us out of places when we're fighting against ourselves. And some people can't handle that. And, like, in our community, we don't really talk. We just deal with. But I think it's at the point now to people are realizing, look, this is problems out here and they need to be addressed. But a lot of times we don't know how to address them. Because I seen somebody do that. The person was like, they were like, how you doing? And this person said, man, I feel depressed, man. Oh, no, you're not. You ain't depressed. No, don't say that. Don't say that. And I look, I'm like, how you going to tell this person that?
Yeah, that's like belittling their emotions.
Or what they're going through. And I didn't know the person like that to say something to him. You know, so obviously they had a relationship, but I didn't know this person. Well, good thing everything turned out all right, because it's like, how you just going to tell a person that they can't feel a certain way or that they're not feeling a certain way? I think that's stupid. But anyway, that's just how I feel about it. But you think we gave solutions to say how to get out of these tough times?
I think so.
I hope so. And I hope that y'all pick something out of this. I hope that it helps somebody. I truly, honestly do, because we all need each other and we all we go through some times of darkness, some tough times to where we feel like we may be inadequate or that we're not reaching our goals. But let me tell you something. You will make it through it. You'll make it through it. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes you just got to dig a little harder. Sometimes you got to pull yourself up by yourself. Sometimes you got to reach out and let somebody else pull you up. But the thing is, seek help. Let somebody help you. Any more? You have any announcements, closing remarks?
No, I think you wrapped it all up.
Benediction?
No.
All right, so you guys, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Listen, leave us 5 stars. Write a review. Comment on SoundCloud. I messed that all up. Let me do it again. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a 5-star rating. Leave us some comments on SoundCloud. Like us on Facebook. Check out the videos on YouTube at Cruger with a C. Send your emails to Crugers, WAC@gmail.com. That's CRUGERSWAC@gmail.com. Until the next time, I'm Marcus.
And I'm Shelby.
And we're
Crugers with a C.